Random Andrew here, coming at you with the axle fix for the Gladiator. If you remember, very recently I produced a video explaining to you how my Gladiator axle had a rather unfortunate run-in with a log. Yeah. And I also showed you what I called the solution back then, an SCX-10-2 with an RC 4-wheel drive Mojave 2 body, Trailfinder 2 body on it. Well, and now it's time to actually fix the Gladiator, so let's get down to it. Here's what we're looking at for the proper fix. Thanks to my brother G, I now have a nice set of metal axles to go in. I'm still kind of on the fence whether we're going to stick with this diff cover. Probably just switch over to the brass if it fits. I'm really hoping it does, because brass is good added weight. And not only did G go out and get us alloy front axle, it's also the matching rear. And now we already do have the knuckles, the actual portal unit, prepared and ready to go on. We have some brand new gears to go in, which should actually be going in the back, but they're going to go in the front. There's another solution for the front coming, but you guys will have to wait to see it. It is the final solution for the front, being that it goes through front portal gears a lot more than it does the rear. So what I'm going to have to do, because I don't have really a good means to record the fix as I'm doing the fix, I'm just going to kind of go with it, you know, and we'll see if we can't get some sort of unedited or semi-edited, less doctored version of this fix, or maybe I'll just give you guys updated steps as I go, so I don't have to struggle between filming and fixing. That's where mistakes can happen. You know, anybody who actually does that, give them credit. It's not an easy process. And special shout out, Paris Junction Hobbies. Hopefully the video's up by now. We went, paid a good visit to Paris Junction Hobbies. That is an amazing little shop. If you're in the area, it's here in southwestern Ontario, Paris, Ontario, check them out. First few steps will be removing the diff cover, drive shaft, and the axle shaft over here. Get that done. Now with everything apart, I can start to clean some of this grease out. It's not actually that bad, but we aren't going to be using any of this anymore, and I really don't want to deal with greasy parts. See what I mean? A little messy around the end there with the shaft. I do notice, not like the SCX-10-2 axles, which are AR44s, these ones have an offset diff. So the internals, I'm pretty sure, are the same. They're just set up a little different, hence the different length of shafts on here. So we'll get this all cleaned up, we'll get that all cleaned up, and we'll start loading these internals into the new hotness. Externals are all removed. Now it's time to open up the new axle, put everything on inside. Oh, and grease the ever-living heck out of everything. Just like that, all the internals are in. It's a little bit of a tough time getting this bearing to seat properly. I'm still not 100% sure it is, but you know, if it doesn't assemble properly, if this does not want to end up bolting up properly, then I know I have to do some work to make that bearing seat. But other than that, it's time to finish putting this axle completely together. Several hours later, I've got these back together. I had a bit of a mix-up for the way that some of these parts actually go back together, and I do believe I'm gonna have to pull this apart and have another look. There's a bearing that I keep trying to put in that does not belong. I'm not gonna go into detail. All I'm gonna say is that if you've taken these apart before, you probably know which one I'm talking about. And it took me a little bit to realize what was going on. So I'm gonna have another look at that front axle, and then they're gonna go back under the Gladiator, and it'll be so nice. It'd just be nice to have it back in action, but I mean, it'll be nice that they're gonna be all metal, some added weight. Sadly though, yeah, I cannot use my brass diff covers with a hunk of grease on them on these. I actually probably could if I either filed down the edge of the brass or kind of honed out the edge around where the screws line up, but I can put those on a 10-2. I'm pretty darn sure that those diff covers are the exact same. I'll have to have a look. I'll let you guys know in a video where I run the 10-2. Let's get these under the Gladiator. Well, 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 would you look at those axles? Take a good look. Because let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, they aren't gonna look that clean forever. Alright, I'm gonna wrap this up just because this has been frustrating, brain taxing. Well, no, not really. I'm glad to have it done. I'm gonna be glad to have it back in action. It's gonna get the 1200 kilovolt fusion motor going in here because my 1800 died on the trail today for absolutely no reason at all. Don't worry, I've already contacted the company. As for now, Gladiator back together, cruising it tomorrow. We'll talk to you guys later. Have a great night. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and all that lovely stuff. Have yourselves a good night.